And we are live. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and I'm back with the best. What a man to return with, Modestas Bukauskus. Thank you so much for joining me again.
It's good speaking to you, Katie. You are the best in this game, and I'm really happy to be speaking to you today.
I absolutely had to get in touch with you to ask to chat about this one because I feel like I say this about all of your fights, but then I guess each one is the biggest fight of your career. But what a juicy matchup for the fans. You versus Paul Craig at UFC Paris. How amazing does that sound to you?
Oh, it's an absolutely great fight. I mean, it's a fight that's probably in the making for quite a couple of years, to be fair. Obviously, Paul Craig's done an amazing job at light heavyweight, getting into the rankings. So I knew it would be a while before I got up there, but
Yeah.
He's always like faced high level competition. Submitted two former champions, actually three. If you include Shogun Hu as well, so that's three former champions,
Yeah.
one current champion. So it's an absolutely great matchup, and what a name to go out in the middle of the cage and throw down with. See who the best light heavyweight in the UK is. You know what I mean? So. Yes, absolutely amazing. Really looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, you spoke about his record there. It's insane. Some of the people he's beat, and the only one to have beaten the current champ as well.
Yeah.
So, does any of that make you nervous, or do you think that your jiu-jitsu stands up, better than anybody else in the division?
Oh, 100%. And this is my chance to show it.
Yeah.
You got to take these opportunities with two hands and go out there and like I say, put your skills out on show. This is an absolutely amazing opportunity. I'm very thankful for my management and the UFC to put this fight together. And like I say, I'm just really looking forward to it. It's definitely a matchup that excites me, and I'm looking forward to go out there and do my thing.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I know that a lot of UK fight fans are always gutted when these like UK versus UK matchups are made, and to an extent, I do, agree with them sometimes because we support all of you and we never want somebody to lose. But this is just too good of a fight to not put together, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. You should see the amount of messages where people are like, "Listen, I really like both of you guys. Whoever wins, I'm going to be happy. And stuff like this." So yeah, it's great to have obviously all the fans behind it. Like I say, especially the UK MMA scene. Two guys that have been in and around the UFC for a very long time, and both of us have had our standout performances.
Yeah.
Proper clash of styles, but that's why it makes it so exciting, not just for us as fighters, but obviously for everyone watching.
Yeah, and he moved down to middleweight for a bit, so I thought that this fight might not ever happen. So it's a really juicy one. I can't wait to see it. I really can't, and I think it's got all the markings of fight of the night.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, Paul Craig always comes out with that intensity. He always comes to fight. He's always getting in everyone's face. He's always trying to implement his game plan, and that's what makes me work really hard in my training sessions. To make sure that I'm fully prepared for this man. And like I say, it's just very exciting, and to get a domestic matchup, in Paris. On a big fight night card is absolutely incredible. So it's everything has come around full circle. When he went down, like you said, he went down to middleweight, always fighting the highest level opposition. Then moved back up to light heavyweight, and here we are. So I think this was a fight that was sort of, like I say, in the works for many years.
How do you feel about it being in Paris? Because I am gutted that it's not here or Scotland or, somewhere in the UK. I am a bit gutted, but this is basically as close to home soil as you've been apart from Manchester.
Oh yeah, like honestly, I'm just happy that I don't have to make that cross country, cross Atlantic flight all the way to the US. I've had 2 fights there. And obviously, I absolutely love it. I mean, what better experience to have than to be able to travel the world with your close
Yeah.
people, your close training partners, obviously my dad and everything. Being able to explore the world, going and fight in different cities, it's absolutely amazing. I now get to fight in another city I've never been to. All the places I've been to, I've never been to before, and fighting has unlocked that door for me. And I've never been to Paris before. This has been my first time in Paris, and I've heard that the crowd like really gets behind the fighters, and I've heard that the crowd is absolutely electric when you're in the stadium. So yeah, it's just very exciting. I mean, look, that's another tick off the box in terms of places in the world that I've seen and places in the world that I've fought in. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, can't really ask for anything better.
I went to UFC Paris a couple of years ago, and I have to say the atmosphere was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Probably better than everywhere I've been, apart from maybe Ireland.
yeah.
Just absolutely insane. And it's not like you're fighting a hometown guy either. So you're not going to be the baddie. You're not going to be the one that's booed, even though I know that you can handle that. But like,
Well,
you.
it's funny because I'm wondering like who they're gonna be cheering for. Do you know what I'm saying? Because obviously you got two guys who aren't from the hometown and everything. So I guess it just depends on who's more popular. But obviously you got to give that one to Paul Craig. He's been in there and had so many fights. So like I said, against such high level competition. So I'll probably expect the crowd to be going more in his favor. But either way, I'm going to embrace it, take it all in, and yeah, just have an amazing experience.
I reckon you've got time to win them round before then.
100%, 100%. Them shots are going to be flying in the cage, Katie, and we're going to get the crowd going. That's for sure.
Exactly. What a way to get an instant new fan base as well, if
Oh yeah,
you do something spectacular there. We've got a few comments come in. One's from Daniel Edwards. He said he bumped into you in Paddington.
yeah,
It was great to chat. A real gent. Ended up speaking about MMA for 10 minutes.
yeah. If this is the person that I'm thinking of, yeah, no, like literally, I just went into. I think I went into London after the Kutalaba fight, and I was just kind of just gathering my thoughts. I literally just went into London and was just walking around everywhere, just kind of by myself. Do you know what I mean? A bit of loner vibes going on, but like I said, just gathering my thoughts, and yeah, just came up to me and said, "Oh, hey, I saw you fight against Kutalaba. I thought it was amazing." And obviously, I've said that it wasn't my best performance. There's a lot of things to work on, a lot of things that I needed to do a little bit better in that fight. Definitely felt that I got the win, but obviously definitely could have came out a little bit sharper. And he just kind of just chatted with me for a little bit and just told me like, man, like, do you know what I mean? Just keep it going. I thought you fought an amazing fight. So it's really nice just to, like I say, just to bump into people. I see his comment now that he just made. Yeah. So yeah. Now, obviously, it's very amazing just to bump into someone and just have like a really organic, like really good conversation. It was a really nice. He's a gent himself, and yeah, just like I say, branching out and meeting new people, and it was good to lift my spirits up as well. Because like I say, I didn't feel. I fought the best, or not to my full capability. So it's nice for someone to just kind of just tell me like, nah, bro, I thought you did really well. Just like you back yourself and
Yeah.
and that. So that was really nice. And like I said, I had a really great chat, really nice guy, and yeah, put me off into the rest of the day in a good state of mind. So
Oh,
yeah,
well done,
worked out very
Daniel.
well.
Well, that's a good segue into that fight because, like, you seemed very down on yourself after that fight, and from some of the posts you put up, it seemed like there were a few people saying that, "Oops, we've lost him." Well, I know he didn't like his performance, but here we go.
Yeah,
You're
sorry,
back.
Kate, I just lost you there for a second.
We're back. We're back.
Yeah,
I was just saying, you put up a few posts that seemed like you got a bit of kind of trolling, I guess, on the
yeah.
decision of that fight. I sometimes think, oh no, I always think that the commentators have a lot to do with a lot of people's opinion on a fight. And
Yeah.
right towards the end, DC was saying like 30-27 was a wild scorecard for you. But he didn't go on to say that 30-27 to Kutalaba was a wild scorecard as well. So I feel like people who haven't maybe read the judging criteria or kind of broken it down are quite swayed by what the commentary team say. And sometimes I think, a lot of the time, I think DC hasn't read it. So I know you probably want to be careful what you say because you are a UFC fighter and these guys are commentating on all your fights. But I sometimes think that's where other people get their opinions from. What were you feeling after that fight?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I feel like, they kind of just follow the crowd. As soon as someone says robbery, it's like, oh yeah, that was definitely a robbery and stuff for this one.
Oh, and robbery is a word that just gets bandied around all the time. You've had your fair share of split decisions that have gone against you that you should definitely have won. So even if this, to me, it was a close but clear fight that you won. But these, not every fight that's a close fight that goes the way you don't want it to go is a robbery.
Yeah, like, look, I definitely think it should have been a 29-28 to myself. And listen, if one judge scored it one way, one scored it the other, but definitely I felt at least 2 out of the 3 judges should have gave that decision to me, just like based on, especially the criteria now is damage. You know, you even look at like the Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson fight. They looked at damage obviously more in that fight, whereas Gunnar Nelson managed to get the majority of the takedowns and stuff like that in that fight. So if you're looking at control, obviously it could have been scored different, but with the new criteria, like I say, it goes on the other end. So for me, I was just happy, like I said, to get my hand raised. I felt like I landed the more damaging strikes. Like in terms of the 1-2s and the shots that were thrown in the pocket. So like I said, I knew it was a very close fight. I'm not saying that I won by like a massive margin, but I definitely
Were you
felt
confident? No, when I think it's hard to be confident when you've had decisions go against you. But did you feel like you'd done enough?
Well, this is the thing. When they said split decision, I'm like, I really was like, from an outside perspective, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Like I said, in my personal opinion, obviously I'm going to be biased towards myself. I felt like I landed the more damaging strike, so I felt like it should be in my way. But obviously, you don't know what the judges are thinking. You don't know how they're scoring it. You don't know from which perspective they're looking at it. But like I said, because of the damage of the strikes, that's where I felt I should have had the edge. Like I say, it was a good job that the judges did see it in my favor. And in terms of like commentary and stuff like that, ultimately, those are some of the greatest minds in MMA. Like I say, sometimes I think the words that they use, and like you said, like saying it's a robbery and stuff like that, and maybe if they do like one fighter more than the other, then they're obviously going to be saying things in that regard. I have to admit, during the fight there were some nice things said about me, and then obviously at the end it was just like completely flipped upside down. But I just use that as motivation. You know what I mean? Like, if they felt like I needed to do more, then okay, I'm just going to use that. I'm going to take it back to the drawing board. I'm going to go into my into my training sessions and try and implement some of the things where maybe those guys thought that I didn't do so well. Look, at the end of the day, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, and ultimately, the more that people are talking about it, the more that there's attention on this. No matter what, I mean, it's good. Any attention is great attention. You know what I mean? Especially in this game, you want people to be watching you fight, and whether they want to see you win or lose, they're watching you, and that's all that matters. So the only thing I can do is improve on my skill set as much as I can to make sure that I have a much more dominant performance in my next fight, and that was good. So yeah, it was a tough fight, but it goes down on paper. That is a win. It will go down in history as a win. So I just move forward with my chin held high, and just go in there, improve on things that I know I need to do, and ultimately just let it out in there, because Ion Cutelaba was my first opponent where I felt like that was a very experienced opponent. Has fought some of the top some of the high level guys, he comes out very intimidating and aggressive and stuff like this. So this was a good test for me as well to see how I can handle that, how I deal with those sort of things. And maybe being the first time that I had to go through it, I did have to fight a little bit more cautious, just because like if you get caught with one of those big shots, it's not going to be a good day for you. But people also got to look at the fact that he didn't manage to take me down, whereas some of the other quote unquote strikers
Yeah.
in the division, they haven't been able to stop his takedowns. So
Yeah.
that's where one thing where I was able to stop those takedowns, reverse positions, and ultimately let my shots fly. I could have been a little bit more aggressive, but if you look at the quality of the shots, definitely went in my favor. So there's plenty of things that I could learn from that fight, and like I said, I just took that with me, took it forward, and I'm going to take that into future fights. And it's now made me a lot more confident fighting in high profile fights. Sometimes this is a journey, it's not just like a stagnant, staying still,
Yeah.
it's a journey. So the more things I learn from it, the more I can take from it, the better I'll be in the future. And 100% from that fight, it can only make me a better fighter, as you guys will see, obviously on September 6th.
Totally agreed. I think this is was a really good experience ahead of the Paul Craig fight, even though it's a totally different kind of threat. It's the same thing where you're going to be balancing your explosivity and the shots you want to pull versus like not wanting to expose yourself. He's going to obviously be wanting to take you down.
Yeah. 100%. But obviously he's a very high level grappler, and so he should. But it's my job to neutralize what he's going to do and implement what I want to do.
Absolutely. So you're very hard on yourself about that last performance, and the way I saw it was you're like 5-1 in your comeback. And you've got a submission on your record. You've got stoppages. Like this, it's almost perfect. Like even statistically, it's almost perfect.
Oh yeah, well we can make it even more perfect by going out there and getting a finish in September. Like I say, I know it's going to be a very difficult fight. He's very high level, but but so am I. So this is this is a great test. This is a great next step up in competition. A completely different skill set and style for me to unravel and unlock, and obviously put the jigsaw pieces together and like I say, implement my game plan. So it's good. I get to fight such different styles, such different guys, and it's great because it just makes me as a martial artist just grow and become better myself. So then when we're going towards that title run, you're going to be more aware of what things are going to be thrown at you. So it's just exciting times. What can I say?
Definitely. And talking about all those different kind of matchups and looks and opponents and stuff, who are you training with this time? Because you always train with your dad. Are you back at BST, and are you back with Tom Aspinall as well?
Yeah. So I've got a couple of really good training partners at BST that are helping me, especially with sort of game plan stuff, and just like basically just shark tanking me and just putting me in as bad a position as possible. Like Lucas Klinger and Will Curry, both of them are extremely good athletes, really high level guys, especially on the ground. And they're giving me really good looks there. Obviously, I'm going up to Tom Aspinall's gym. His dad, obviously, like the coordinator of all the craziness that goes on in training. But it's good. I've got Ante Deli, who's also fighting on the card. So I've got another teammate that's fighting on the card, which is absolutely amazing. So we're all going to war together. They've got a great bunch of guys down there. And we're just like I say, just helping each other and making ourselves better, and ultimately just like we're all going towards the same goal, which is absolutely amazing. And so it's everything's just going in the right in the right pieces. I've also got Marcus Paul, who's also a really good guy. I've got Sebastian, who's also been in my corner before. So I've got a whole host of guys that are just helping me to get the most out of myself, to improve on my areas as much as possible, to make my positive areas as devastating as possible. And yeah, like obviously I'm going here, there, and everywhere, but essentially it's the same core group of people, and the people that have been helping me out for such a long time. So
Yeah.
it's great. I'm getting so many like amazing, and another guy that's he's also going to be in my corner is James Webb. He's been another massive part of the training camp. Great guy as well. Like we've become very good friends, and he's another guy that really cares about me, wants me to do well. So to have those guys all the guys that really care about me, really want me to do well. So to have those guys together, like I say, Tom, Ante, all the other guys in the gym, they're it can only make you better. And I definitely feel that. I feel like the camaraderie, I feel the good spirits. Some training sessions aren't as easy as others. Like my dad's are like constantly watching and like seeing which areas like we can expose, and even in strength and conditioning, like absolutely killing me every single session. But it's good because I'm getting much stronger. Even Jamie, like Tom's strength and conditioning coach, has been helping me out a lot, getting me stronger in all these different areas. So yeah, like I say, the whole collective effort is helping me to feel like I'm the best athlete that I possibly am up until this point. And I've just become a lot more dedicated and disciplined as the years have gone on, as I've gotten more mature, as I've wanted less of like the flash and the thrills of being a UFC athlete and stuff like this. I've just become a lot more concentrated on what I need to do. I take a lot of inspiration from guys like Usyk, who just literally everything is geared towards his goal. And it couldn't be any more right. I mean, I'm 31 years old. Realistically, if we're speaking about in terms of MMA, 38 is probably where I'd like to sort of close the door on the MMA career. And I need to make as much of this whole career and experience as I can within. It's a very short space of time. 7 years will go like it's nothing. And you really need to try and do as much as you can. I mean, look, this is my third fight this year, and I bring out a big finish. I could get a fourth fight this year. Do you know what I mean? So you want to constantly keep the ball rolling, constantly keep improving, constantly learning, and just being extremely dedicated and disciplined. None of the champions in the world have got to the highest heights of this game without following the same protocols, and if you are slipping up in certain areas, then it's going to show on fight night. So
maybe John Jones.
Well, I was going to say there's one anomaly, and I don't know how he does it, but like I said, I used to take
all the
inspiration.
others.
Yeah, I still take inspiration from him, obviously, but aside from all the antics that he had outside the cage, he obviously worked extremely hard inside the cage
gym,
and inside his training sessions, and obviously just an extremely talented fighter. So where I'm not so talented, in
the PDs,
and all the other stuff that goes with it. But like even Tom, like I take massive inspiration from him again, like how he conducts himself within the training room, how he lives his life, how he does certain things, how dedicated and committed he is to improving, getting better, doing the nutrition right, sleeping right. All these things play a massive factor when it comes
and
to.
he was someone who he only sorted out his nutrition when he got to the UFC, because he didn't really have to, did he? Up until that point, he was just cleaning up, and then when he got to the UFC, he was just, even though he was still cleaning up, he was thinking, I could do this better. I could finish these guys even faster. I know what I can be. And if you look at his body composition from his first fight in the UFC or his fight in Cage Warriors to now, he's completely transformed himself.
Oh, 100%. And it shows in the training room as well. You just see all attributes just become even better. Like he's faster, he's stronger, he's much better in certain positions just because he's dialed everything in. And like I say, I take massive inspiration from that. Like being such a great guy, like inside the cage, outside the cage, and then the way he conducts himself in his life. Like I say, I just take notes, and I'm like, do you know what? If this is what the best in the world is doing, how can I not do the same thing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If I want to achieve these same results, then I'm going to have to do the same thing because, like I say, yeah, I've got many good physical attributes, but you want to have them performing at their peak,
Yep.
and you can't do that by like I say, partying all the time and stuff like this. And not to say that like I've partied a lot all the time, but I've definitely become a lot more disciplined and.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a growing process. I'm 31 now. I'm not in my 20s anymore, and like I'm starting to be a lot less concentrated on like kind of fame and stuff like this. Of course, you want to be popular. You want to be in front of the crowd. You want people to enjoy watching you fight. So that's what I focus on. I want people to enjoy watching me
If
fight.
you're successful, that will come for sure.
Exactly. And the way you do that is by going and putting on your best performance out in the cage. And, all the little bits have to fit together in order for you to go and get that best performance. And I definitely feel I'm doing that now. Like when people say leave no stone unturned, this is probably at the peak in my career where I feel like I've done that. So, and I'm just going to continue to do that throughout my career. And I'll probably learn more things along the way and tighten things up
Yeah.
even more as the time goes on. So it's a constant growing process, constant learning process. And this is why we love the journey. I'm so glad that I've had to have many tough lessons, but it's got me to where I am today. And as cliche as it is to say, you're definitely going to see the best Baltic Gladiator out there on September 6th.
I really think this is you coming into your prime, and yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing for this one. But you spoke a bit about Tom there. Can we talk about him becoming the undisputed heavyweight champ? Because long overdue. I thought it was a bit
Long overdue.
anticlimactic the way that it came about, and definitely the way that he kind of found out. But hopefully he gets to have his moment in October, and like hopefully that will be all he's ever dreamed of. And I know he would have
Yeah.
liked it to have been against John Jones. That's no secret. I I don't think John ever would have accepted that fight. I think Tom is way too dangerous for John on so many levels. And if you look at the people, John, no doubt has had an amazing career and beaten some amazing fighters, but he has built his legacy as safely as possible. Never accepted any short notice fights. Never. A lot of the people he's beat were kind of maybe past their prime. A lot of the people that he's handpicked to fight have been either past their prime or more one-dimensional than Tom. I just don't think that fight was ever going to happen. This legal stuff aside, I don't think he ever would have taken it. So this
Yeah.
is the fight we've got. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great matchup. Obviously for Tom, I'm going to be literally finishing my fight and then jumping right back in there to help Tom out to defend his belt. And like Tom's got so many attributes that like people don't even know that are good. Like people think of him as like being fast, but it's not just being fast; it's the way that he does things. Like I say, it's the way he conducts himself in the training room and stuff like that. And you can just see like how much better he is than everyone else. And the thing is, he always comes in there, always trying to learn. He knows how good he is, but like I say, he's always trying to put a better version of himself out there all the time. And look, he's a very dangerous fighter for anyone, but like I'm talking like for me when I see him, I'm like, look, he goes out there and he's relaxed and he just does his thing that I don't see anyone beating him in the heavyweight.
No.
The thing that was big for him is that he just wants to be active. So
Yeah,
obviously it was a shame to see that they held on to John Jones having the belt for such a long time.
exactly.
But now everything has come full circle. Everything has come together, and now he gets to fight. And he wants to be an active champion. He wants to go in there. He wants to beat guys. He wants to prove that that's ultimately just what he wants to do. He just wants to prove that he's the best. And
Yeah.
I without a doubt know that he's the best, and I know that he's going to put on some extremely spectacular performances, especially now that he's had so much of this time off. In terms of compete, but he's never took time off training. This is the thing. Like people
Yeah.
think, oh yeah, he hasn't been in. he's been training all the time. He's constantly trying to improve, and like now he's going to be ramping things up as he's going into training camp for the Cyril Gane fight. And yeah, I just know that Tom is going to be a long-standing champ. I reckon he could get the record for most title defenses in the heavyweight division, without a doubt. And yeah, he's well on his way to do that. And I'm really looking forward, not just for my own fight, but obviously to watch Tom do his thing. You know, him and his dad have created such an amazing place up north, and I'm very glad to be a part of it. And yeah, just the good vibes will keep rolling, and just the whole team will just keep doing bits. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take over the MMA game. So yeah, it's very good times. Very, very, very exciting. Very exciting.
Buzzing for that fight. I go from that high to, I want to talk about another one of your teammates, because I think he deserves us chatting about. Jordan Vucenic was cut by the UFC, I think, really savagely, after one short notice fight that he was winning and doing very well in, and one other fight where he didn't look himself, and he never makes excuses, and he never comes out with, any, excuses or anything like that. So I felt it was really harsh for him to get cut. But you and I know what pure class that man is, and you have given him the blueprint of what can happen. I'm gutted that he has to do this.
Yeah,
I think he should still be there, but I have no doubt in my mind this guy belongs in the UFC, and he will be back there, and he will be
100%. 100%. You know, people don't realize how talented that guy is. He's learned a lot from both of those fights. Even just the way that he's doing it, like I said, it's all a learning process, all a growing process. He's only getting better. You see even more intensity when he's in training sessions and stuff like that. You know, the way that he just wants to continue, just like make adjustments and keep improving. And you know, obviously it's a very dark time, as it was for me whenever I got up. But you know, this is the brutal nature of the sport. You know, sometimes, you know, you make one or two. This is why you can't slip up too often out there. And yeah, you could say it's probably, you know, very, very quick that they cut him. But at the same time, I feel like this will give him the required growing process outside of the UFC, just like I did, to get himself back in there, to get himself to bring the best version of himself. You know, maybe he needs a couple of fights just to get him back onto that level where he's firing all cylinders, so that he can push that out. And he's like, honestly, that fight against Goran was extremely close. He did absolutely amazing in that fight. Yeah, you could say he didn't you know, fight quite himself in his last fight, but obviously credit to his opponent for doing what he did.
Yeah.
But you know, I've spoken to Jordan, and I can see that, you know, although it was a harsh place, he's in a good place now. You know, he's training again, he's learning, he's ready for the next venture, and this is what I told him. I said, you're definitely going to be back within a year or two. You know, like I say, things can happen very quickly. You rack up a couple of big wins, you rack up a couple of finishes, you can get straight back on there, short notice, whatever the case may be. And I know that second time round, he's really going to make a statement. And you know, like I said, just from my journey alone, I'm like, I know that you're going to come back much stronger, because you're a guy who learns from everything. Like from the Paul Hughes fight, he learned so much from that fight, and then he went on a tear. So this is exactly the same growing process that like I said, like, you just see so many similarities. And the way that he's conducting himself going into his own comeback is very similar to mine also. So I've told him that, you know, anytime he needs me, you know, he's always got my number if he ever needs anything. And I think because he's got such quite a close, tight-knit family in BST, coaches Danny and Raymond, and I feel the same. I feel that same connection with Danny and Raymond also. It can only make him better. And I know when he comes into the UFC the second time around, he'll be a completely different athlete. And you know, I thought, you know, when I got cut at 27, I'm like, bloody hell, I'm like, this has happened like a little bit later, but I got in by 29. And, you know, I believe he's 29 right now. So I'm like, look, I'm only just starting to make waves at 31. So I said, you've got plenty of time. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's timing's different. Some people are doing it this is what I said in previous interviews before. I said, like, I was too caught up on what everyone else is doing and how they're doing things. Everyone's journey is different. I mean, look at Alex Pereira. Got in there and started, tearing up at 34, 35. So things are going to happen very quickly. All you got to do is just stay on your grind, learn your lessons, do the things appropriately in order to make yourself better, to correct those errors, and then go in there and perform the way that you need to. So I know that Jordan will come back. He's going to come back even stronger. He's going to put on some absolutely amazing performances in his fights outside the UFC. And I know he's going to get the call back. Like I say, I have no doubt in my mind. And I know the coaches believe that. The coaches believe that also. So honestly, he's going to look back on this and he's like I did. He's going to think this is the best thing that could have happened to him. At the time you think, the world's just dropped on you and you're like,
well, you spent your whole life kind of reaching for this dream and you got it for a moment and it's been snatched away. But there are a lot of people out there proving that the second time around, it can be done. So personally, I think he's at home in the UFC now. He's definitely the caliber of other fighters in his division. But like you say, he's going to be an even scarier fighter in a year 100%. Or two's time with a really nasty point to prove.
Oh, and do you know what I mean? With that extra hunger, with that extra, you're going to just change your complete thought process over everything, and it's just going to make you even more dangerous. So, like I say, it's a scary thought for all the others that have to fight him when he's back in the UFC, and I'm looking forward to watch his journey and to see him make his comeback. Like I say, I know that he's got all the capabilities, all the tools. When he puts it out there, he's going to be extremely dangerous, and I think everyone can be really excited for that.
Yeah, can't wait to see his next one. Have you got time to talk about a couple more teammates while we're here?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, you and Jordan were both there to watch Tariq Pell at Cage Warriors London. He's a sublime talent, and he just looks amazing. Since he's gone to BST, I think that he's just come on leaps and bounds. What did you think of his performance?
Oh, it was amazing watching it live, let me tell you. Coming up to him afterwards, giving him a hug and everything. The dude's extremely talented. And again, he's another hard worker. He's self-critical in the way that he approaches things. He's always trying to learn, always trying to improve. And he looks amazing. He executed the game plan perfectly. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he's a very special talent. And like I say, he's another one where he can only get better. Things can only he can only improve even more and come out with even more devastating performances. That's another guy that will definitely be knocking on the door of the UFC very soon. So everything is like I say, for him going into place. And I'm very excited for him also. It's great to see guys that you care about, you're really friendly with, that are doing well. It's just amazing to see. And like I say, I'm looking forward to see what unfolds for him in his career going forward.
Yeah, me too. He looks absolutely scary in his last few performances. And then the last one I wanted to talk to you about was Will Curry. He obviously had the opportunity on Dana White Contender Series coming up, and then he's announced that he can't get a visa. What's going on with Will? What's next for him?
Well, I mean, obviously with that, not able to go and fight in America.
That's a devastating blow, isn't it, for somebody who wants to be in the UFC? Obviously, it's still possible to be in the UFC.
Yeah, 100%. There will be other opportunities for him. Like I said, going forward. Obviously, he's managed by Graham, so obviously he's going to have the right roadmap and game plan set out for him. But Will's looking amazing in the gym. He's helping me out a lot for my fight as well. He's again just focused on getting better right now. When the opportunity comes for him to fight, he'll be ready to go. I'm really proud of him that he's, like I say, taken a massive just approach to getting better. You know, he's literally in the training room, just okay. I'm gonna try and improve these skill set as much as I can, so that when I do go in next, I'm gonna be like a completely different all around athlete, and I'm gonna make sure I put on a performance. So it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to get the
Yeah.
visa. But I know he's gonna. I know he's going to do big things, and like I say, wherever he fights next, whatever he's doing next, I know that, like I say, he's going to be a completely renewed athlete. He's going to be much better in all areas. He's already like amazing as a fighter overall, but he's just going to be even better, even sharper. And like I said, because he's focusing a lot more on that, it can only make him a much better fighter. And it's amazing to see his development as a fighter, and a development in his mindset and maturity as well. Like everything, it just seems like it's going to the right place for him. So like I say, with every setback, there's always something that comes through, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And wherever the opportunity is next for him, I know he's going to take it with two hands as well. And I'm really looking forward to that and excited for him. And maybe the UFC opportunity didn't come to light now, but it could definitely come to light further on down the line. So again, it's still exciting times for these young men. They've got so much talent, and they've got the world at their feet. And the good thing is that they're not taking their foot off the gas pedal. They're just going, everyone that I'm associated with are all going towards the same goal. And they take inspiration from me, I take inspiration from them, and together we just grow. And it's incredible to see. So I am looking forward to see what happens next for him. Obviously, sad that he wasn't able to have his opportunity, but like I say, there will be other opportunities in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, there have to be. All you got to do is keep winning, keep impressing, and opportunity will find you. Another comment we got here from Benny Yanko said he watched your fight live in Montreal. Keep going up.
Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, it was amazing. The crowd was amazing in Montreal, I have to admit. It was great to fight in that stadium, and people were absolutely lovely. Everyone that I came into contact with and met. So I appreciate that. And now it's on to, like I say, bigger and better performances from me going forward.
Amazing. Well, I've taken up loads of your time.
All good. All good. I love speaking to you, Katie. I've always got time for
Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anyone you wanted to shout out? Anything you wanted to say?
I just wanted to, as always, like I've mentioned a load of the people as we've been talking, but the reason why I've been able to make such like drastic improvements in myself mentally, physically, emotionally is because of the amazing people that I have around me. And I say this all the time, but if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. Obviously, there's a lot of things that you have to do on your own. You have to keep sharp. You have to make sure your mindset is good and stuff like this. But if it wasn't for all the people that are close with me, I wouldn't be where I am. I get to travel the world again with my dad. We get to go out there and try and conquer new lands. Go out and get another impressive win against an extremely high level opponent. I mean, these opportunities are just absolutely incredible. And I couldn't be more blessed. I couldn't be more blessed in every aspect of life. There's so many things that have happened to me that have made me improve, grow, mature as an athlete, as a person. And I can definitely see changes in my demeanor and who I am as a person. I'll always be the same, down to the core Baltic gladiator, crazy guy. But at the same time, like I've made certain changes that, like I say, with the help of all my training partners, all my close people, making such great connections, such as the guys up in Manchester with Tom and his crew. It's and then keeping other relationships that have been very tight with me. Everyone's all going up together. I feel like the people that I'm around, we're all having this this journey of improvement and moving up together. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all achieving things together, and that's what I like to. I like to be in those circles of people that are always going to lift you up. You know what I mean? Tell you where you need to improve things. Be transparent with you, And I'm just very thankful and lucky that I have those people. And I got to obviously say Iridium Sports Agency have been amazing for getting me so many fights in a very short space of time. And like I say, all now that is left is for me to go and do my part and go and put on an amazing performance, which is what I'm ready to go and do. So without all my close friends, teammates, family, and it's pretty much just one big family, isn't it? I wouldn't be where I am. So long may it continue. The comeback story continues on September 6th, and everyone just tune in because it's going to be. This is definitely going to be the best performance on my part, and it's going to be an explosive matchup for the fans. And this is going to be good. Looking forward to it.
It's a huge fight. I think it's your biggest fight so far, but just the comeback has been everything you said it would be so far. You are just building with every fight, and you deserve this opportunity, and you're making yourself undeniable. And with a win here, you've got to get a ranked opponent next, and it's all coming together. The plan that you saw, that you felt like most people thought that you could never achieve, is well on track, and you're a good part of the way through that plan.
Yeah, that's it. We've got plenty more things to be done, but we are going in the right direction. And I feel as every part of this step plan goes into place, I'm just becoming a better person by going through this process. So and like I say, if you want to be the champion, you've got to live like the champion right now. What would the champion be doing right now? And I feel like I'm definitely on that track. And so now we just got to keep it going, keep getting these wins, keep being confident, going out and putting on amazing performances. And I definitely feel the story unraveling, and it's exciting for me because I'm living it. And it's going to be crazy. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm chuffed for you because I know how much you put into it, and you fully deserve it. And every time I think that you have left no stone unturned, you manage to find an extra 1% that you're going to put in somehow. And you are just somehow giving a little bit more every camp, somehow improving something every camp, and you've worked so hard to get to where you are. I just am really pleased for you, and now you get to demonstrate on 6th of September everything that everything that you've learned between the last fight and now, and also everything that you felt that you didn't get to show in that fight, you get to put on in this one as well.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Katie. With that being said, on to September 6th, UFC Paris. Let's go.
Can't wait. Oh, we'll all be tuning in for sure. And I'm sure you're dividing the UK and who's supporting who, but what a great fight for the fans. Thank you so much for your time, Modestas.
Thank you, Katie. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. Always love chatting to you. And let's go. I can't wait to put on a performance for you as well, Katie. Watching at home.
Can't wait. Thank you so much.
It's gonna be good. Nice one. Thank you.